Do you agree that I hold worldwide commercial use right of this conversation?
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
What is your question?
No problem. Yeah, I was actually one of your videos about the writing section of the
Yes.
IELTS, and you provided us with a template, actually, not a sample writing template.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
it said like the debate. Uh, I cannot remember the sentence, but it gave
Yeah.
some like some specific sentences that I can use in every
Yes.
topic that has the same the same category.
Yes.
And I was hoping for more of that.
Well, the thing is that, to be honest, your English is pretty good. Now, the point is that that kind of template or a structure
Uh-huh.
is okay for somebody who is really struggling to get it on and
Uh-huh.
really struggling to write something at least. So for them,
Uh-huh.
it's okay to have a template and at least write something so that they get a reasonable score. But from the way you speak, I think your English is good enough to write something freehand. And it is
Uh-huh.
always better to write freehand compared to write something based on a template. It's always better
Uh-huh.
to write freehand. So I believe you should be able to write better than a template.
So you definitely recommend like to go freehand, huh?
You should practice writing freehand. I'm not saying that you don't practice and try freehand first time on the exam day. I'm saying
Sure.
that you should try practice writing freehand before you go so that you have a feel for it. Obviously, I can give you a general structure if you want to follow one, but I would not suggest going for particular sentences. It
Mm-hmm.
is better to have a variation and general ideas, obviously, as you can understand, having connectives, have a certain coherence throughout the text that you write. So basically, if you start with it generally, and I can't stress this enough that there is no one single way of writing in IELTS.
Absolutely.
There is no one winning formula. So a good score, for example, 18 IELTS writing can be achieved through many different formats of writing, as you
Uh-huh.
can understand.
Uh-huh.
So the point is that I can tell you a certain way of writing which you can follow, and you can write in a different way if you want. So what you can do,
Yeah.
you can start with an introduction, and the introduction does not have to be according to that particular video of mine. That is a structure, but if you can write freehand, it's always better. So you can start with something. So if the topic is talking about, um, say multinational companies,
Uh-huh.
I sent you a link to a video like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you pick that one, you see that there's an introduction. So you can say something like multinational companies are all around us, something like that. Make a general statement about that particular topic. Make a
Uh-huh.
statement about the topic, and then you can express your opinion at the beginning. There's no problem with that. You can say that I believe that this. Obviously, it's not a conclusion in the sense that after analyzing everything, something comes as a conclusion. But here you're sort of giving you a feel of what to expect in the body of the text. So
Sure.
the reader looks at it and knows, okay, this is the way this person is going. And
Uh-huh.
then you start with, you pick 3 points that the opposing party would say. For example, if you are going to support the multinational companies, you pick the 3 points that the opposers of multinational companies would say. Or if you are going to oppose, then you pick 3 points which the supporters of multinational companies would say. Whatever the topic is, you pick the other side 3 points, and then you list out each point. Basically, you talk about it in 1 or 2 sentences, and then you refute it with your argument. So what you are showing here is that you give a feel of what direction you are going to go at. So you have an introduction, and then you bring out the logic or the argument that the other side would have, and then you refute it. By doing so, you make your view win, basically.
Sure.
So you have these three, and usually one introduction and these uh, 3 points, and with the refutation in each of them and a conclusion usually gives you around 260 to 270 words. So having 3 points is usually sufficient enough to have a sizable writing test to answer. Because if you go 4 or 5 points, then it would be too long. So you can follow that kind of a structure. That's sort of a rough structure, not a template.
Sure. Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
But one more and last thing, I was
Yes.
stressed at the beginning of this conversation, but I feel now like I'm more like, free and flexible. How can I like get up to this, I don't know, this, tension at the exams day?
What is the score that you need?
I'm thinking of 7.
Okay. And where do you want to get admitted?
Thinking of the UK, mostly some, universities there.
Okay. If you're looking for 7, do you need overall 7 or do you need each
No,
individual modules to be 7?
yeah, overall 7 and 6.5 in each, component.
I think you're good there. You should be able to get that.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
That's a relief.
Yes. I want you to be
But
relieved. That's the point.
thank you.
And to
But
relieve.
how come is your English like is awesome like this?
I don't know if it's awesome or not. It's just
It is. I mean, yeah, I can tell.
okay. Thanks. The point is, I learned English as a child through using the language.
Uh-huh.
Because I grew up in a country where the masses they don't speak English, and English is not the language of the people.
What's
So
that?
Bangladesh.
Oh, okay.
Do
Sure.
you know Bangladesh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So it's not the language of the people. So
Sure.
and I went to a school where the medium of instruction was Bangla, my native
Mm-hmm.
language. So English was not the language that I was brought up speaking, but my father encouraged me to speak English, and I did so at the time, and I more and more realize now that the only way to master a language is by using it.
Absolutely.
Become fluent,
I agree.
the only way to become fluent in a language is to use the language. And the more you use the language, so whenever my cousins from UK used to visit, I spoke with them, and I took whatever opportunity I got in order to improve my English. It was not really a deliberate plan. And this is another thing, that when some people ask that how long does it take to learn English, it's sort of a tricky question to answer, because I didn't really set a target that in this many months or this many years I'm going to learn English. It just came along through a, natural use of the language. That's what it is, basically.
Have you've been ever before like to the UK or
I
US?
live in the
Maybe?
UK.
Wow, right now.
Yes.
I've been to the UK once actually, to London,
When was that?
2011.
Oh,
I
okay.
participated in a conference about peace, because Palestine is
Yeah,
like kind of a hot topic.
I know. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and yeah, it's basically I know I can achieve the score because I also did the TOEFL and the GRE.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with those
Yes.
exams,
What was your
but
score in GRE?
I got like 146, and 3.5 out of 6.
Okay. And in TOEFL?
So it was 90.
Okay, it's pretty good then. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't
But
think you have anything to be worried about in IELTS. Only thing is that you just have to be familiar with the test itself. That's all.
yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the one I've never done the exam before, and I need to practice and get familiar with
Yeah.
the structure of the
Yeah.
exam. I was
Just
going
get used to
actually
it.
right
That's
now.
all.
Yeah, I was going through the reading section of the IELTS.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a big deal, but you need like to focus and
Yeah.
like pay special attention to some techniques.
Yeah.
Actually,
Just make sure that when you are practicing at home, you do it sort of within the time constraints, so that
yeah, this is the point.
you know that you can actually do it within that time.
Yeah, I
Because
always set my timer
exactly,
on my
because
phone and
otherwise
start
the way
practicing.
questions are, if you sit there all day, everybody can get all of it
Absolutely.
right. So that's not
Sure, I
that's
agree.
not the
Yeah.
problem here. The time is the
So the guy that you just like made the interview with before myself is actually my friend, and I introduced you to him, and
Oh, the
it
person
was
from
lovely.
Ramallah.
Muhammad, yeah, he's from Ramallah.
Yeah, okay. And
Yeah,
he has a test the same day as you.
exactly. We're scheduled for the same day.
Okay.
And yeah, I was going through the YouTube and I saw you and I got really, and you're really an interesting, teacher.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure meeting you.
Thank you very much. Yes. So that's it. I'll send you a message as to let you know how you performed. But all I can say now is that you have nothing to worry about.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really, really, thank you.
All right. Take care then.
You know, bye.
Bye.